everyone, today's video is going to be an unpopular thoughts on new makeup releases, my WTF are brands doing video. I did not think I was going to be doing another one of these, but you guys seemed to enjoy the last one, had a lot of thoughts and opinions on my last one. The one I did a month ago will be linked down below. I was requested by a friend over on Instagram if I was going to do another one of these on my channel because we were chit-chatting about new makeup releases, and she was like, are you going to be making a video about that? Like all these? And I'm like, I guess so if that's what you want. So a month ago I did one of these videos. It was an unpopular thoughts and feelings on new makeup releases. Usually the last quarter of the year is when there's a lot of releases because Christmas is coming, the holidays are coming. Those holidays are usually when people like to either buy for themselves or when people buy for other people. So the last quarter of the year, of course, is going to have more releases. Also, because of that, there tends to also be a lot of sales. So I did want to talk about some of these palettes that are coming out recently, and there is a theme in this video. I can't remember which Sassy K video I did where I talked about how like we can't even enjoy the makeup that we currently have because a month later they're gonna be coming out with another palette. And this entire video is that in a nutshell. I want to talk about DD Signature. I have never tried DD Signature. I don't know much about the brand other than that Christmas palette. I still really want that Christmas palette. It was in my one indie wishlist video. I want it so bad. I've never tried DD Signature, but literally at the very end of August, and I'm currently filming this October 2nd, okay? At the very end of August, they came out with Broken Jewels, which I can't remember if I talked about this in my last video or not, but they came out with Broken Jewels. Very pretty palette. Anyway, literally the other day, like a day or two ago, they started doing sneak peeks on a brand new palette. I do not have the name of said palette, but they're already coming out with another palette. I think I have said this in a video. I say a lot of things in videos, and when I'm editing, I'm like, yeah, better not say that. I think in a video I have talked about where I feel like these indie brands are just keep coming out with palettes because they need people to continue buying from their brand, or of course they don't make money when you could be making other types of products that people would most likely repurchase. I'm thinking of like What's Up Beauty because they came out with a mascara. People tend to repurchase the same mascara if they really like it. What's Up Beauty isn't releasing something every month. It seems like they really make it intentional, and it seems like they're making it intentional, and it's much farther apart from the previous release. So I really like the way like What's Up Beauty is setting up their brand. They're expanding different lines, they're adding new types of products, like they have a face primer. Like people go through face primer and they tend to repurchase face primer. So like brands like What's Up Beauty, for example, don't have to rely heavily on eyeshadow palettes to maintain, you know, their checks and balances in their books. DD Signature, I think, only has eyeshadow palettes. A lot of these brands really only do eyeshadow palettes, and I think that is a huge flaw across the board. The 4 colors that we have seen thus far, they're pretty fall colors, but literally a month later, we're getting something new. Let's go into Gourande Girls as well. Not too very far ago, it was about a month ago, they came out with the whole Trapped collection. So there was a palette, a large variety, I believe they're liquid lipsticks or pigmented lip glosses. I don't remember. A huge array of different lip products. Then they had highlighters. I think there was 2 different highlighters. I feel like the whole collection, the idea, the color story, the theming, I love the theming. I love this theme of the Trapped palette. I cannot stand the font of Trapped. I don't know what it is, but I can't stand the font and that bothers me so much. But it wasn't very long ago. Now, releasing today, October 2nd, you're not seeing this today, but October 2nd, the full reveal of, what is it even called? The Nevermore palette. First off, this is the exact same thing as the ABH Norvina because it had the purple packaging. You know, it was kind of marketed like it would be a purple palette. You open it up, there's 2 purples max in that entire palette. This is giving me same vibes. I have seen some beautiful looks. I have. It does not look like it should come from this palette though. There is like 2 purples. One of them is bordering on like, it's a periwinkle going on to a baby blue. And then one is a really, really dark muted purple. Every time I have seen this Nevermore palette in different lighting, it never looks the same. In some lighting, it looks really pretty. Like the photo I'm going to show you here, which this is going to be my brand new pet peeve. Let me know, how do I turn off the repost BS thing so they're not floating on my photos, because it has annoyed the crap out of me. Because I take these from Instagram. More often than not, it's for makeup on your radar. I cannot stand the reposting bubbles. How do I get rid of that? This palette looks different in every lighting that I have ever seen this palette in. Sometimes it looks really pretty, like the photo you're seeing here. Other times it looks very dull and muted and like not something I would want to have. And that is Jasper putting his 2 cents in. I'm not impressed with this palette. I would 110% prefer the Trapped palette. I love the theming, I love it all. Except I can't stand the Trapped font. But literally back-to-back releases within like a month apart. Too much. One last example is, we all know Nomad. I feel like they have tended to do every other month or like every 3 months, which I would prefer them to go longer spans from releasing palettes. But not very long ago, again, very end of August, the very end of August, they released the Salem Witch City, or the Witch City Salem, or whatever order of words that it is. I love that palette. I personally own that palette. It is up there. It's a beautiful palette. I love it so much. Literally, the other day, I can't remember when it officially got released. I think it was October 1st. I think it was yesterday. They released the Pacific Northwest. This is a beautiful palette, beautiful packaging. This is a palette that I am not going to go out and purchase on my own, but this is a palette that I would most likely ask for Christmas. I don't know about you guys, but my fiance is awesome, and if I ask him for a specific palette, he is going to get it for me. So this is a palette I am sure I would love and enjoy, but it is not a palette that I am going to go out of my way to purchase, but it is something I would ask as a gift. Really love the entire palette. Really, my only gripe with it is that it's literally back to back, a month apart from another palette. And what's cute is they have like a cute little beanie and in a mug. Like, it goes with a theme, but it's not makeup related, so it's like merch. Like, I like the merch, but come on now, we need something. It would have been so cool with this palette if they came out with liquid eyeliners, come out with a basic black, have a dark cranberry, an emerald green, and navy blue. Like, those are the colors that people would love in an eyeliner. This is the perfect palette. It is literally the shades from the palette. If you make that Leaping Orca shade into an eyeliner, if they made Sasquatch Sightings and Perfect that wine, I can't say it, if they made those in eyeliners and then like a basic black, you know, because everyone likes black, if they made those, I feel like people would have loved it. Come on now, let me know your thoughts. They really should have done eyeliners. They should have done either liquid or pencil eyeliner. I feel like that would have been so nice to have. Slightly missed the mark on that in my opinion, but really my only gripe about it is the release times. I can't stand, I absolutely can't stand when these brands are doing things so back to back. It is hurting my soul. This palette, I love Fantasy Cosmetica. I have ranked my Fantasy Cosmetica palettes. I have loved and adored my Fantasy Cosmetica palettes. And one of the only, I'd say I probably am subscribed to maybe 3 bigger YouTubers. Or if I'm subscribed, I actually watch their videos, like 3 big YouTubers. Betty Jean is one of them. I love and adore that woman. She did a collab palette with Fantasy Cosmetica. Packaging is on point. Color story is up her alley, 110%. I have already purchased this palette and it is currently on the way for me. So let me know down below, what do you want to see with this palette? Do you want a 3 looks in a review? Do you want me to just use it in some shorts? Do you want me, you know, to do a get ready with me while using it? What do you want to see? I would love to hear your thoughts because I already purchased it. I do have a group chat and every once in a while we talk about new makeup releases, and I don't know if I shared it or someone else shared it, but I called before they released who it was in collab with because they specified it was a collab. I said because of the cat, and I believe I said because of the color story. I'm like, that has Betty G's name written all over it. You bet your ass I was right. So that made me very proud. The fact I saw it and I'm like, yep, that's Betty Jean's palette. Like, this palette calls her name without me knowing that it was her palette means the world to me. I love Betty Jean. This is a beautiful color story. Because someone else in the group chat said, like, this color story appears to be a little too dark for my personal preferences, which I could definitely see that point of view, especially the light teal at the top and then the 2 pinky purpley shades. They look light enough for me to do looks that I would like to do. So I am super excited for this palette. I can't wait to have it in my hands and to show it to you guys. This palette I'm very excited for. Something I'm not very excited for. Singe Beauty, which is Angelica Nikva's brand. Love the product shot. First off, beautiful. The flowers, looks really beautiful. Color story, very lackluster. It has fall written all over it, it does. But for someone who has been in this beauty space for so long, for someone who does and are heavily involved in events like Creators and Friends, doing these international trips, having friends of all sorts of skin colors, this palette does not look anywhere near dark enough or pigmented enough to work on a darker skin tone. Obviously, I don't have a darker skin tone. I cannot specify that directly, but looking at it, it does not go very deep. It looks very muted. I don't, like, this looks very light person friendly, not very dark person friendly, which I don't even know what the outside of the packaging looks like. But if it's anything like their other palettes, I'm sure it looks beautiful. But the inside of the palette, I was not impressed with at all, although it does scream fall, which is probably what she was going for. She's also coming out with these collection of nude lip liners. It is literally 50 shades of brown. Like, we should have a true red, a true cranberry. You know, 50 shades of nude doesn't really impress me at all. I do like branching out into different types of lip products. It's just, I'm not very impressed with the color range. I'm glad they went a little deeper. I wonder why they haven't done any other lighter shades. I was just very disappointed in the range of colors in this lip liner collection. This palette is one of those ones that I did not purchase on launch day, but it is intriguing to me enough that I would buy it if it goes on a really good sale, or ask it for a gift. You guys know how much I love M81 Cosmetics, my friend Megan. She has her own makeup brand. I did not buy her last palette, the Cake Chemistry or something like that. Not my colors or vibe. Like, pastel-y shades, sure, my vibe, but the overall palette I knew I wasn't going to enjoy very much. this new palette, and I can't even pronounce it. I'm gonna leave the name of the palette right here. She does a lot of really neat inspiration. I have the Golden Ratio palette. It's a beautiful palette. I love it a lot. This palette is inspired by those really colorful sea slug sort of creatures. They are adorable. My only gripe with this is we could have knocked out one row of mattes. I feel like it is way too matte heavy. If you were having this many mattes, you needed a little bit more shimmer. I also have the gripe of now all of her palettes are 3 totally different sizes. I dislike when brands do this. If you're gonna have a brand, I would like if all your palettes are the same size, because on my, what is this called, bookshelf, all my BH palettes are together. All of my Fantasy Cosmetica palettes are together. Down here, you know, Natasha Nona is all together. Cosmic Brushes is all together. I want them all together. I want them to look uniform. And the fact that now all 3 of her palettes, she could have easily done this in the same size and like packaging as in Cake Chemistry. I'm a perfect 2-to-1 ratio. I like 2 mattes per 1 shimmer. But this palette seems a little disoriented to me in terms of the actual packaging size and then matte shimmer ratio. I love the theming though. I adore the theming, and this is something that I see will be in my collection at some point, most likely on sale, because I think it's $40-some, and I would rather not pay $40-some. Another lip launch. So these are really, really tempting to me. So Bella Beauté Bar came out with the Dark Dreamscape palette. We will get into that next. But they came out with these Dream Lip Sparkle Balms. Beautiful. I have seen them on people's, you know, lip swatches and things like that. It is so, so, so pretty. The packaging may look a little cheap, but I feel like it kind of goes with the theming. I don't know. That one in the middle that has like a nudish, kind of leaning pink tone to it, that's the one that's calling my name. Or the one that's on the far left, it's like a darker nude shade, that also is calling my name. Hoping these would be more on the sheer side than pigmented side, and they do say that there is like little sparkles in here. I'm hopeful that one of the nude shades has a little less sparkle, so it would be significantly more wearable out and about for me. This is on my wish list. The next time I make a Bella Beauté Bar order, one of these will most likely end up in my cart. I don't need any more lipsticks, and I am not a lipstick person, but this is a balm. Technically, it says a balm, and I really enjoy more of a balmy sort of thing. Now on to the Dark Dreamscape palette that this launched alongside with. When I looked at this, I literally thought that is the Ocean Jewel palette with pops of orange. When I first saw this packaging, it looks like it would be a split pan, and my fear was that it was going to open up like this, and I would have hated it and never would have purchased it if it had that type of packaging. But I am thankful that it is a normal, you know, flip top. Very happy they made that design choice. I just feel like Bella Beauté Bar has done these purples, they have done these blues over and over and over and over again. Do something different. Like, we don't need a million palettes with shades of purple in it. They have purples in a lot of their other palettes. They literally have an entire palette of purples with Deandra and Nicole. We don't need a million purple eyeshadow palettes. This is very redundant for the brand especially. The last palette, or I guess collection, that I am going to talk about today is a collection and collab with Blend Bunny Cosmetics. I have said this in another video, is I swear this year is Blend Bunny's year of millions and millions of collabs. Like, it is so tiring at this point. This is the Rotten palette. When I saw this and they were teasing that it was mold inspired, I was like, that is such a weird concept for a palette, especially since brands like Patrick Ta, for example, have been getting a lot of shit for having mold in their palettes. A lot of people have been sharing their palettes are going bad. Like, I thought this was a weird, I just thought it was a weird concept, and I was all for it. The packaging, gorgeous, and it has like a little bit of a texture to it I've seen on videos. Lovely packaging. The inside, I understand where they're coming from, mold inspired. I just hate how they have maintained this season of life they're going through, where they have an all matte palette and a separate palette with shimmers. I don't want them separate. I want the shimmers in the actual palette. This makes me so mad, and I probably would have wanted to purchase their Rotten palette if there was shimmers in there. But there's not shimmers in there, which is why I probably will never own that palette in my life. But I love the tones. They're muted, they're grungy. It fits in with the fall theme so incredibly well. They have like this blue iridescent sparkly lip gloss. It looks really pretty. This entire collection, I think overall, was done very well. I just can't stand why we needed a separate matte palette and then a separate shimmer palette. It makes me so mad. And I really enjoy the creator that they also did with this. I cannot pronounce her name. I'm horrible with pronunciation. Told ya. Lovely creator. It makes sense with the creator. It makes sense for the brand. Overall, the whole thing makes sense. The constant collabs, and then the fact that there's no shimmers in the palette. It makes me so mad. Those are the releases that I'm talking about in today's video. Some of them not so popular. I feel like this video was a lot less sassy than my last one, but my main takeaways is I can't stand these brands doing such back-to-back releases. I hope you guys enjoy today's video. If you want, you can see the last one. I believe it was a lot more sassy than the video you saw today. If you enjoy makeup related content, eyeshadow content, anything of those sorts, I do quite a few makeup commentaries, thoughts and opinions, get ready with me's, all of that good jazz. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, comment down below. What are your interesting thoughts on these makeup releases? Did you purchase anything? What are your overall thoughts and feelings? I love talking to you guys down there and having some very fun conversations. Also, please don't forget there is a new hype button feature. It does help the channel out, and I would greatly appreciate it if you did. I love and appreciate you guys all so much. I shall see you guys next time.